Hope all is well. Can you just first of all just talk about what recently happened with the NFL draft? And I know you were part of the party that Gabe had over there, and seeing him get drafted. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. Just seeing my buddy that, I met him his senior year of high school. Obviously close friends with Brandon Moore, so he'd come and hang out with us at the dorms after our games my freshman year, and just seeing him go from a high school senior to an NFL player is just something special, and it's just a culmination of all his hard work paying off. And yeah, just super happy for him and his family.
Hey, McKenzie, how you doing? Hope everything's going well with you.
It's going good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. I wanted to ask, how would you describe your kind of progress? We've seen a lot of videos of you out there working out, doing things, throwing the ball around. How has your progress been during this time period, and how do you feel physically, I guess, going through the last 8 weeks or so?
I've been making a lot of progress. Been going into therapy just about every day at the school. They still got the training room open for about 5 of us that are long-term injured guys. It's me, Brandon Moore, Jordan Davis, Alec Holler, and Jared Baker, all knee guys. So we've been in there rehabbing just about every day, and we all been making big strides. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong, upper body, lower body. But there's still a long ways to go. And I'll go see my surgeon in little less than 2 months at the end of June, and we'll see what he says when I get up there.
McKenzie, what's a tough moment during this rehab that you could share that you've had to work through, and how did you get through that tough time?
Man, there's been a lot of high moments and a lot of low moments. But I'd say the toughest thing has just been just staying mentally strong throughout all this, just being patient throughout the whole process. Breaking down scar tissue, it's extremely painful. But once you start seeing the progress and you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, it makes it all worth it. I guess it's like the saying, no pain, no gain. So just been kind of dealing with that, and it's been a tough process, but it's also been an eye-opening one, and it's been I feel like it's been good for me in a way.
McKenzie, just thinking about maybe a positive that has come out of this, do you feel like you've become almost more impactful to people after the injury, as you've become almost like a symbol of hope as you've fought back from this?
Yeah, I think performing on the football field is one thing, but how you carry yourself off of it is a whole nother thing. And I try to represent UCF and the name on the back of my jersey with pride. So I'm a symbol of hope for people that's gone through tough things physically. That's great. And I just I definitely want to get it back on the field and just show people that you can overcome tough obstacles. And I'm doing it for others, but I'm also doing it for myself, just to prove to myself that I could do something special.
Hey, McKenzie, I think when you first kind of talked about how you wanted to come back and play football again, I think that there were a lot of people who really doubted that you would ever have the chance to do that again. But kind of as you've progressed and people see you throwing now and moving around, and the big brace is off your leg, I think it seems more realistic now. Do you feel like there's kind of the doubters fueled you at all? And do you feel like even to yourself, it's more realistic that you're going to come back and play again?
Honestly, it's not so much about the doubters, because, from my freshman year, there's been doubters, just me being able to perform on the field. So it's not necessarily about that. It's about, people that have gone through this who haven't been able to make it back, like Zach Miller on the Bears, going through a tough injury, and then seeing people who have had a tough injury like this, Jalen Smith being one of the best linebackers in the NFL, with dislocating his knee his last game in college and having nerve damage. And in my opinion, he's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. So it's not so much about the doubters. Like I said, it's just something for myself. And the guys going through rehab with me, going through that struggle with each other, it's not easy, but it's not so much about the people that don't believe in me, because that's natural. That's all. There's always going to be people that don't believe in you. It's more so for myself and, my family. And if people can draw hope from me, then that's great. And, because I'm one that hope from, like I said, people like Zach Miller, people like Jalen Smith that have been through, people like Teddy Bridgewater that have been through stuff like this. So, you know, people have done it before, and I definitely think I'll be able to too.
Nice drum set, Pat. I had to say that first. But McKenzie, I saw a post from Jan Garcias that you went over and threw the ball with Britt. We see people around the world trying to lift everyone's spirits with just little acts of kindness. What did it mean for you to go over there and do that?
Yeah, Britt's our number one fan at UCF, and like I said, everything's not as bad as it seems, and everything's not as good as it seems. So, someone like Britt, she puts things into perspective like me, and she treats me like I'm her brother, and I treat her like she's my sister. And you wouldn't, just talking to her, you wouldn't expect anything's wrong with her. And all she sees is love and hope. So I love going to hang out with her at her house, and just it's just a big UCF family. And all the support I've been getting, not just from Britt but from others, has honestly been a big help with me going through this rehab process. And if I didn't have that support, that's where I'd be.
McKenzie, you've talked a little bit about being on campus, going through rehab and stuff with some of your teammates. Is it weird not having the whole team there and kind of being almost like a ghost town, I guess, on campus?
Yeah, it is. It's extremely quiet, and yeah, it is weird. The parking lot being empty at Wayne Bench, nobody riding bikes, nobody running around. It is weird, but it's kind of become the new norm now. So I feel like it's going to be weird once everyone's back, and just adjusting to all the coaches being back, all the players being back, all the support staff being back. But I look forward to that time when everyone is back. But right now, it's been the new norm, and honestly, I've been enjoying it. It's a little more quiet. There's not as much pressure, I guess, but you just get in there and grind, and it's been good.
McKenzie, do you envision a time where you'll be able to be the athletic guy that fans grew accustomed to? Do you think you will get all that back eventually?
I sure hope so. I mean, like I said at the beginning of this injury, if I'm not, to the level I was, or, surpass that, then there's no reason for me to be out there. But I feel like, I'll be physically better, and I feel like mentally, I'll be even sharper, just having mental toughness going through all this. So I sure hope so that, I can give our fans and whoever's supporting UCF, what they pay for with season tickets, and, give them a good show, because that's what it's all about, performing in front of the fans and, getting wins on the board.
KZ, you said even before the start of the last season that 2020 was sort of your goal. And when we talked to you in November, you said, that's still your goal, but it's too soon to say. Is it still too soon to say that you would be, ready in 2020? And if it is, have you at least made strides during this time that makes you more confident that you could be out there at that point?
Yeah, it still is my goal. And like I said, I'll go see my surgeon in June, and I'll know a lot more at that point. So, but that being my goal, that the reason I set that goal is because I want to approach my rehab every day with the idea that, I'll be ready to go for fall camp, and I'll be able to go for North Carolina in our first game. And if I'm not approaching it that way, then, I feel like I'd be missing days in therapy, not working as hard as I can. So that's why I've set that goal, and, I hope to reach that. And if I don't, then it is what it is. I'll just keep knocking down block by block. But hopefully when I go up to Minnesota at the end of June, I'll get some good news.
First you, then Dylan. How would you describe that Hawaii pipeline to Orlando and UCF? What's the reaction of UCF in Hawaii, and who's the next great quarterback coming to Orlando from Hawaii?
Yeah, it's been a special thing to see Orlando accept us with open arms, and kind of adopt some of our culture into Orlando, and it's become like a family atmosphere out here. So it's been special to see that. And we got another offensive lineman, Lokahi Paole from Kamehameha High School from Hawaii as well. So It's not just quarterbacks; it's other guys too. There's a lot of talent out there. And you saw the NFL draft. There's a lot of guys from Hawaii that got picked up. So um, hopefully we can get another QB out here. I'm not sure. Dylan probably knows the young guys better than me because I'm kind of an old head now. But Dylan would probably be the guy to ask to see who the next guy out here would be.
McKenzie, outside of staying at home and going to an empty facility, to train and recover, what have you been doing and how have you stayed active? It looks like you went fishing the other day.
Yeah, so I've gone fishing before, but I never caught any fish. So went on a Wakaiva River down near Altamont. It was beautiful. Caught my first bass, and that was a blast. But at home, I've been doing some home workouts as well. Been playing some video games. Been playing 2K. Been watching a lot of TV. I'm watching Ozarks right now. But just TV, hanging out with my mom, hanging out with the dog. Really, honestly, been trying to stay indoors as much as possible without, besides going to the school. Just because I don't want to, put anyone at risk out there. But, doing some workouts on my balcony and, watching TV and video games is pretty much about it.
McKenzie, what's the dynamic right now with Dylan Gabriel, as you've kind of coached him, watched him evolve and become a bit of a star as a quarterback, while at the same time you're trying to come back and play too?
Like he's like a little brother to me. Like I said in past interviews, he's way further along than I was as a freshman, and that's a credit to his hard work and how hard he pushes himself in the weight room, the training room, and in the film room. But I think it'll be a little more competitive once I'm like fully cleared and stuff like that. And we're all competing for that job with me, Dylan, DJ, Quadri, and Parker Navarro, who's coming in as a freshman. So, but at the same time, whoever's at the helm, we're all going to support each other. Like I did last year. It killed me not being on the field just because I played football every year since I was in the second grade. Been playing tackle football since I was in the second grade. So it was tough watching, but it was also really rewarding seeing, a young man to my high school, and I was at the same university as me, and he's going to do some special things here.
McKenzie, if you had to put like odds on whether or not you're ready to go based on how you feel right now, what do you think they would be?
Dang. A tough one, man. I'm not a betting man, so I can't really say. But right now, I honestly say maybe 50-50. It's still up in the air. I've been making big progress, but like I said, I still have a long ways to go. And I'm not sure what my surgeon is going to say when we go up there in June. I hope that he clears me, but like I said, if he doesn't, it is what it is. It's been a long, hard process, and like I said, I've learned patience throughout this, and if I have to wait longer, so be it. If not, then whatever he does clear me to do, then I'll take that and run with it.
McKenzie, I don't know if you had a chance to see the E60 piece on Alex Smith when he went through with his leg injury, and I wonder if you had a chance maybe to talk with him at all when you look at what he's gone through.
I haven't been able to check it out yet, but my dad and Coach Hype both reached out to me to definitely look into that. I haven't got to talk to him. I definitely would like to. But after I first got hurt, Joe Theismann did reach out to me, and he went through something very similar, like Alex Smith. And like I said, just being able to reach out to guys who've gone through similar stuff, like Teddy, Joe Theismann, and just like I said, kind of grab on some hope that they've shared with me. It's been cool.
McKenzie, are there some strides maybe you've made with that knee just in the last couple of months? Maybe more movement, being able to jog a little bit. Are there some specific things that you've seen where you're like, I'm a lot better than I was, maybe 6 months ago?
Yeah. So, like I said, just really in the past few weeks, been doing like a lot of single leg jumps, and at first, it's just kind of hard, just because with the nerve damage, like it takes a little while for it to wake up. So at first, like it was hard to just pop, 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 pop and do explosive stuff. But just in the past 3 weeks, has gotten a lot easier, and I'm definitely feeling a lot more athletic doing that stuff with like single leg jumps on my surgical leg. So, you know, like I said, seeing the progress is like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's why, you know, we come in every day and we bust our butts to try and get back on that field, all of us.
McKenzie, you've been obviously rehabbing on campus with Brandon Moore. Can you give us your sense of how he's coming along and what you've seen from him?
Man, he's just a freak athlete in the way he heals. Part of me wishes I was kind of like him in that sense. But it's also his work ethic and his mindset. You know, he's set on, you know, getting back for 2020 as well. So we encourage each other every day, and he's making big strides as well. I think he'll be getting his brace off in about a month here. So I'm super excited for him with that, because, you know, he's been through so much in his life. But it's definitely going to teach him, you know, I don't think he's taking things for granted, but, you know, just being back on that field, you know, we talk about it all the time. He's gonna be a different animal. Like I said, like physically, and his mind is gonna be so sharp. I don't think anything's gonna be able to stop him.
You've talked about before having an interest in coaching. What have you learned about the coaching profession this last year or so, having an opportunity to work closely with Coach Hype and other coaches on the staff?
You know, it's a grind, man. It's very similar to being a player. They put in more hours, but, you know, they spend a lot of times away from their families. So I wouldn't say that's like make me second guess coach, but it's kind of just put things into perspective, how much time they invest into us as players and athletes. And it's just, I've kind of grown more of an appreciation for them and how much they sacrifice for us. So I would just say from that aspect, you know, growing in appreciation for all that they do for us is pretty cool.
Kenzie, I was wondering if you've had a chance to talk with some of your teammates and what their morale has been like during this pandemic, and you guys just not knowing when the season could start and what the season will look like.
Oh yeah. No, I talk to my guys all the time, and they're busting their butts, man, doing some home workouts. Some of them are working together. Some stayed in Orlando. Some went back to their homes. But, you know, from just the broad view of our team, everyone's working their butts off. And whenever we get back, I think our team will be ready to roll. I don't think we'll miss a beat. And I think we're all kind of itching to get back on campus and get back around each other, just so we can, you know, build up timing on routes and just have that camaraderie once we go into fall camp.
Thanks, McKenzie. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy. See you guys. Stay safe. Bye-bye.